Literature circles are one of the best ways I know of getting students engaged and motivated, especially in secondary classrooms. The one question I'm always asked by teachers is, how do I get my students motivated? How can I get them engaged? They don't want to read the materials that I have for them. So what can I do? And I think the important thing with literature circles is that the students have a choice of what they'd like to read. Obviously, teachers need to give them possibly 4 or 5 selections, and they can choose from that. But the students have the opportunity to read what they're interested in. They take on various roles within the literature circles. And it teaches those skills of questioning, clarifying, making predictions, making connections, being able to just talk about a book. Most students in secondary don't know how to do that because they've never been able to discuss the text. They don't know what is a good conversation talk when they're talking about text. And it takes a lot of guiding them through that as a teacher, modeling for that, carrying them through it, lots and lots of practice. And I think just the important piece is allowing them to facilitate their own discussions and have the opportunity to discuss what's important to them. Any content area classroom can do the literature circles, and I think it's important that it also goes outside of the reading classroom, because students need to know that the strategies that they learn in a reading classroom can be generalized, that they internalize these in any content classroom. Articles can be used. Sometimes the same article, sometimes the same text can be used for a whole class discussion. Just depends on what's comfortable for the teacher. When we first start literature circles, I see a lot of students just talking one at a time. One person might take on the role of a questioner, and they, not so much a yes and no question, but they question the author's craft, or they question some of the characters and the roles that are going on within the text. Another role might be somebody making connections, what it means to them, a specific piece of the text, how they made that connection. Another role is a student might summarize what's happening, taking all the information and ending up the literature circle with telling the others, this is what we talked about. Sometimes there's an illustrator. Sometimes we have students who are better at conveying their feelings through drawing, so sometimes they'll illustrate. And I see a transition going through literature circles with these students, because we start out, like I said, they talk just one person at a time, but then we try and get away from everybody just taking a turn, and it evolves into a whole conversation where everybody is responding to each other. And maybe the questioner that starts out, everybody is then asking questions, or maybe everybody is then making connections, so that everybody gets an opportunity to experience those roles and have true, authentic conversation about the text.